What if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened by an power from outer space, from another planet? Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all?
Massive geoengineering. This guy's spraying a huge cloud over us now. Well, as I look at the haze created by the jets today, many flights, the sky is almost a pale blue now. I found this article in the Epoch Times about cloud ice crystals carrying biological matter, the day after I did the Will Thomas Lincoln, Libby Davies piece. Chicago Redders. Ice crystals plucked from clouds and quickly analyzed in flight show bits of biological matter. Bacteria, spores, plants play a role in the formation of clouds, U.S. researchers said. The finding reported in the Nature Geoscience offers the first direct evidence of airborne bacteria in clouds, they said. Climate scientists typically rely on computer models to predict climate change, but until now it has been difficult to directly measure the composition of ice crystals in the clouds, which are the very seeds that form clouds, as well as dust particles and stuff, I would add. By sampling clouds in real time from aircraft, these investigators were able to get information about ice particles in clouds at unprecedented level of detail. Anne-Marie Schulmeyer of the National Science Foundation's Division of Atmospheric Sciences said in a statement, "By determining the chemical composition of the very cores of individual ice particles, they discovered that both mineral dust and, surprisingly, biological particles play a major role in the formation of clouds." For this study, Kim Prather of Scripps Institution of Oceanography and the University of California, San Diego, loaded up an aircraft with specially designed lab instruments called mass spectrometer, which analyzes the actual light effects of the particles they're examining. The team made a series of flights over the skies of Wyoming to analyze the chemical composition of the ice-forming particles in clouds. The key to cloud formation is these little seeds that feed the clouds, Prather said, with the basically trying to understand what is forming clouds. The team, led by Prather's graduate student Carrie Pratt, found that biological matter accounted for 33% of the particles in the dry ice crystals, and mineral dust accounted for 50%. The big deal was to be able to measure the chemistry of each particle at one time, Prather said. Other teams have captured ice crystals and examined their contents on the ground, she said, but by the time they had melted, it was impossible to know for sure what they were analyzing. She said ice pocket that they measured contained Asian dust. The findings suggest biological particles that swept up in dust storms and help induce cloud formation. It was impossible to tell whether the bits of plant matter, fungal spores, bacteria were detected had been alive because the instrument used to smash them to bits to analyze their composition, she said. They were potentially living, we can say that for sure. But other teams have found living bacteria in studies of cloud water, she said, and some scientists suspect that clouds may be capable of transporting viruses and bacteria and depositing them long distances in the form of rain and snow. It is almost likely that the biological material is hitching a ride along with the dust, she said. Prather said that understanding the exact composition of clouds will help climate scientists better predict climate change and may even lead to new ways of forming rain clouds to alleviate drought. The study was funded by the National Science Foundation and National Center for Atmospheric Research. These poor students. They've been cloud seeding since 1950 or 1948. They know how to make clouds. They do it in Thailand to make water for crops, so she has no idea of basic science that they use calcium chloride and sodium chloride to make clouds in Thailand, and it's admitted in a cartoon I have posted. So this is a lot of disinformation in a lot of ways, trying to dispel the fact that these jets are making particulate clouds, which aren't necessarily ice crystals, but a synthetic ice crystal. And now we know that these synthetic ice crystals that they're using to cloud seed the cities here in the western countries are probably dragging down a lot of viruses and bacteria, as they stated. And that's exactly what Will Thomas has discussed as a result of doing this aerial program. Sort of sucks having coincidences like this happen. Good article though.
Yes.